I've always wanted to do that. Alright guys, so Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to another video. So today it's gonna be about university advice, university tips, and my experience of university. I know some of you guys may be starting university soon, I know some of you guys may be starting college. Either way, I hope whatever I have to say will benefit all of you, but mainly towards you guys starting your first year of uni, because I finished my first year of uni. I know how it's like. Okay, who's this?
Oh, sorry.
I'll show you know who this is. If you don't know, then you don't know. Anyways, I'm doing a video today of my first year of uni advice. Oh, now he's interested. You can just chill, yeah?
Okay. Go.
Yeah, just number one is intentions. Now, when you start in university, like we all, get butterflies. We're all like scared, like don't know what to expect. But with intentions, sometimes we don't know why we're going to uni. Like, are we going to uni because our parents just want us to get a degree, but we want to do something else after uni? Or are we just going to uni just for the fun of it? Now, personally, if you have your intentions intact, and then as you progress along uni, you would know and appreciate what you're going to get out of the degree. So let's say, for example, I'm doing economics, right? So in my head, I was like, I don't know what I want to do after uni. Forget about after uni. Let me focus on my degree right now and let me put my 100% into it. And from there, I can base a solid intention and strive to do well. So make sure your intentions are intact, because when you beautify and rectify your intentions, you see how everything in uni will go towards you, like will go your way and will go smoothly. So in that way, you wouldn't have to go through rough patches during your time in uni. Advice number two is having a correct mindset. Now this is so important, because during my first year of uni, I tried to contain and maintain a correct mindset. What I mean by correct mindset is I had a positive mindset and not a negative one. If there's negativity around you, let's say you revise hard for like a quiz online. I remember during my first year of uni, every week I had a quiz for each top subject I was doing. So it always kept me intact to always revise and study. Now sometimes guys, you will encounter this, uni does this to you, and it happens to everyone in uni. Sometimes when you do a test or a quiz online, sometimes you may not get the result that you wanted to. Let's say the quiz is out of 10 and your goal was 10, for example, but you get 4 or 5, for example, or less than that. And you may have studied so hard for this, but guys, it happens and you learn from your mistakes. And that's the best thing to do, because let's say, for example, you didn't do as well as you expected in a test or a quiz, and then you become upset, and then it plays a negative mindset in your mind, and you're like, in my next test, what happens if I do bad? Try and flip it. Let's say you do bad, you're like, alhamdulillah, okay, fine, I didn't do well with this test. What can I do to improve in my next test? Just make sure you guys have a positive mindset, and that's key, guys.
Keys.
My advice number 3, guys, is friends. Now, I can go on for hours and hours speaking about friends, but I'm sure when you guys are starting your first year of uni, you're thinking about friends, who to keep as your friends, and in general, meeting people. I remember during my first year of uni, I was searching for YouTube videos and saying first year of uni experience, friends, this and that, because on the first day of your uni, on your course, everyone is going to be on the same boat. You guys are going to be in the same scenario of meeting new people. Let's say like there's a brother, a guy there, and like he seems like an approachable person. I'd be like, yo bro, or hi bro, or assalamu alaikum bro, what's your name? And from there the conversation flows, because then you can talk about, are you nervous, what do you expect, do you live close to the uni, things like that, guys. You can start to assess who you get along with, who you won't get along with. And bear this in mind, guys, yeah, the stereotypes you can think about with friends in uni is so true. In your first year of uni, as you progress and go along, people automatically straight away make their own different groups of circles, and not every circle speaks to every circle. So in general, I would say is that always keep an open mind to people. Like, don't restrict yourself with one group. But one golden advice I would give to you guys is choose friends who are serious about their studies and who may have a balance with their social life. Because when you're one-sided towards your social life and you're not focused towards your studies, it can be a big problem. Guys, think about it, yeah? You guys are gonna pay 9K a year. And if you're just going to joke about and just dwindle through your first year of uni and not pay attention to your studies, just think about 9K just go in thin air. Think about yourself. Think about how you want to balance your public life, your social life, and your studying life. and try to maintain that balance with your friends as well, so that way you won't lose out, and you know, you can have a good time in uni and not stress about in life. So guys, your friends are so important and so key.
Jeez.
Number 4, always be prepared. I don't need to say much about this, but you always want to be prepared with your equipment. For example, when I had a lecture to go to, I'd read the slides beforehand, just so I know that I know what to expect during the lecture. And at the back of my mind, I know that, okay, this is going to come up, let me pay attention to this. You know, you want your mind to be engaged and attentive. So that's another thing, guys, always be prepared. And so number 5, guys, I'm guilty of this as well, is don't be afraid to ask for help. We had module leaders in my uni and we had assistant helpers. Now with these assistant helpers, they always asked us, whenever you need help, just email us. Now sometimes I did that, sometimes I was really hesitant, but guys, never be hesitant. Think about, you're paying 9k a year to use all these facilities. Make use of it, guys, utilize it, because you don't want to regret it after. Let's say, for example, everyone in your lecture understands it, but you don't understand it. Yeah, that's a test for you to show whether you're gonna go and ask for help, or you're gonna sit down, and when it comes to the actual test, you're the one that's gonna be failing yourself, guys. So always make sure you're always asking for help, and don't be scared, don't feel shy. Number 6, guys, is always recap every day for every single lecture you've done. Even if it's for 1 hour, guys, you would find it so beneficial, so refreshing that, you know, your mind, it would always remember things that you have to go over. So for example, let's say I'm going over micro for economics. Let's say I'm going over different kinds of taxes, right? Like income tax, direct tax, indirect tax. Now let's say, for example, I need to go over specific things within these different taxes. If I go over that after the lecture, it would be more memorable, and then after that you'd realize that your brain and memory, it will function even better and greater than how it was before. So always try to go over your notes at least 1 hour every day, or more than that if you can. And if you're dedicated towards that and strict with yourself and have that principle, you will do so well, guys, trust me. You'd see amazing doors open up for you. So number 7, guys, always make sure that your actual notes, your neat notes and your scrap notes are set aside from each other. What I mean by that is, let's say you write scrap notes during your lecture, and then when you go home or when you go to the library, utilize the library, guys, yeah? So when you go to the library, or you know, your study place at home, always make sure you rewrite your notes and condense your notes every time you go over them, because you'd find that as you go closer towards your exams or closer towards your mini tests, you'd see that you're going to condense your notes every time, because you may have memorized a few things already. So just always make sure that your notes are intact. I highly advise you guys to get folders and dividers. Like, it's something really cliche, but you want to make sure you get that, because organization is so key during uni, because some days you may have to revise for something and you may not find it. It's like thrown about in your bag with other papers and letters, and you don't want that to happen to you last minute when everyone else has already got their notes ready. So always make sure you're organized and ready for what's about to come towards you. Number 8, guys, distractions. You guys know what distractions are. So your phone can be the biggest distraction ever. I don't want you guys to go through the same mistakes as me. And you know, when you have your phone with you while you're studying, always, this is the hardest thing to do, but always make sure it's on airplane mode for at least 1 hour, or just make sure it's on silence, because when you're studying, guys, you're going to be tempted to go on YouTube, go on the wrong side of YouTube and watch like you can just watch fails on YouTube when you're just bored, or when you find something hard. What are you doing? Just don't be distracted, guys. Stay away from all distractions, whether that's people, your phone, whatever it may be. Just keep all distractions away when you're studying. So that way, guys, you have a healthy balance towards your studies and your first year of uni. And that's simple. Personally, from my experiences, I've gone through ups and downs in uni, and during my downs, I always made sure I had a positive mindset. And with that positive mindset, I made sure that, you know, I'd always get back up and work harder every time. So out of anything, guys, one of the main things I'll say is have a positive mindset, have your intentions intact, and just always be prepared. Stay away from distractions and have good friends. That way, guys, you'd be so well. And I don't see why you guys can't get a first. And not to brag, alhamdulillah, I got a first my first year, but it didn't come with me slacking. It didn't come with me sitting down in the corner watching Netflix every time after uni. Like, I made sure I had a balance. I didn't have people coming up to me, have this, have intentions, have this. I had to figure it out myself. So, you know, I want to benefit you guys, and hopefully you guys, when you start your uni either next week or in October, or even if you already have started your first year of uni, it's not too late, guys, and you can always make amendments and improvements within our own selves. So that's all I have to say. Now, if you take it in, you take it in. If you don't want to take it in, you don't, by all means. But to those that will help, I hope you all go a long way, and I hope you all become successful, and I hope you all get a first when in your first year of uni. You guys can follow me on Instagram, my Snapchat, it will all be listed below in my description. And on my Snapchat, I do try to let...
No, right now, everybody.
On my Snapchat, I do try to let out a lot of more like positive vibes, a lot more motivational things. So if you are a big fan or you want motivation in your life, just follow me on my Snapchat. With my Instagram, it's mainly like my fashion and my clothing sort of stuff. So I do try to keep a differentiation between the two. But yeah, guys, that's about it. That's all I have to say, guys. Until next time, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace.
Come.
No, thank you. I'm not dying today. You must be crazy. I ain't dying today.
Wow.